her lifestyle. And especially when you recognize the fact that one who was so academic and athletic at the same time could suffer a setback in knee surgery and still bounce back and be a leader for us all. I think one of the things that she taught me, and I had to write this down, and I'm shaking, and that's this year. She's taught me even more to look at the great God that we serve. To laugh even in moments of despair. And to bow in reverence and humility. Because He's planned everything in our lives, even this place, this time tonight. So, folks, it's my honor to introduce to you the distinguished Providence grad of 2015, and that's Miss Anna Youngblood.
Good evening. Welcome family, friends, and faculty. We are so glad you are here to help us celebrate this special occasion. To my fellow graduates of 2015, congratulations, we made it. And if you've been at Providence since the beginning, you have officially made it through 2,160 days of attendance at this school. But whether you came in first grade or joined us along the way, you're a part of our story. If you think about it, our lives are kind of like a series of books, one with different volumes, chapters, and even characters, and they're all meaningful. Today, May 29, 2015, marks the end of our book together, and it is my honor tonight to tell you about some of its greatest chapters. Here at Providence, I believe our lives have been characterized by three major themes: hard work, school spirit, and relationships. While most of the time we just remember the loud, exciting chapters of our lives, we do well to reflect on some of the quieter, but just as weighty milestones we've achieved. Starting in grammar school, we visited ancient civilizations, were introduced to Latin, memorized God's truth, and were given the gifts of reading, grammar, and math skills. As we moved through the logic school, we were taught how to speak clearly and debate effectively, while grasping the importance of redemption through grace. And who doesn't remember our much anticipated freshman year of rhetoric school, which included the dreaded but challenging physical science class with Mr. Delaware. It all proved to be much better than it seemed, and we learned one crucial lesson that would encourage us throughout the rest of high school. If our school was ever under attack, Frank Galati would single-handedly save us all. As we continued to the 11th grade, we faced the hardest challenge of them all, Mr. Pierce's chemistry class. Although it may be, as Mr. Pierce constantly reminded us, that you can't get away from it, we still made it through. And last but not least, after a year of writing and research, we conquered our 18-page senior thesis and defense. At the end of it all, you cannot help but take note of the many lectures, conversations, assignments, and assessments. There was as many pages of work as a great novel, and hopefully just as much wisdom. It comes as no surprise that there have definitely been some late nights throughout the past few years, but the greatest of them were not spent at home studying for a test. No, they were for something far greater than you could ever imagine: winning pep rallies. When I think about some of the best times I've had here at PCS, I think of these moments. I think of us dancing like complete nerds at 11 o'clock at night to shake it off. I think of Mr. Smith screaming his head off because he's so pumped we won another pep rally. I think of our class singing the school fight song, celebrating 20 years of God's grace and provision. Although pep rallies are wonderful, they are only the beginning of our love for Providence and for each other. If you've ever been to a football game, you have no trouble picking out our student section. Among the navy and white shakers and through the cheers for our Eagles, you can feel the fondness we have for each other, and you can see the memories being made. And likewise, at the end of each volleyball season in the Birmingham Crossplex, you will witness a small but fierce group of students cheering on our team at the state tournament. Like the climax to a riveting story, our school spirit, our love and loyalty to PCS has propelled us to accomplish more than we ever dreamed possible. But every story has a good ending, a resolution, and you don't have to read too far between the lines to see that every Providence tale is punctuated by our greatest God-given theme, relationships. Relationships with our parents, relationships with our teachers, relationships with each other, and above all, a relationship with our Heavenly Father. Parents, thank you just isn't enough. Without you, this day would never be possible. I think I speak for my whole class when I say that you have been one of the greatest blessings in our lives. Every story has a hero, someone who sacrifices for a cause. Thank you for being our first and greatest examples of a life lived for others, a life poured out. Teachers, thank you so much for all you've done to mold us into the people we are today. Henry Adams once said, "A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops." I believe this especially to be true at Providence. Not only have you managed to teach us your subject, but you've shown us what it looks like to live our lives for the glory of Jesus Christ. We love you more than words can say. Thank you for being such influential characters in our story. And to the class sitting right in front of me, I've grown to love each and every one of you, my brothers and sisters. We're a family, and like all healthy families, we're one that laughs together, a lot. I can barely even begin to go over all the funny memories we share. Like Chet, ripping his pants right down the back, trying to demonstrate a floor slap in rhetoric. Or the girls making Freshman Friday t-shirts in the 9th grade. Little did we know that Freshman Friday in some schools actually means getting your head shoved in lockers and being thrown in trash cans. But thankfully, we figured it out. Or how about playing the floor is lava, which consisted of the whole class jumping around in desks while Miss Adams was out of the classroom. Mr. Waddell walked in on us and then started pretending he was playing too. Too bad he had to go tell on us. But whether we were laughing or crying, we've been together through it all. Besides having fun, this class is like family in that while we are one, God has given us all unique talents and gifts. And it has been a blessing to see all of you discover your athleticism, your intellectual ability, artistic talent, and leadership skills. A little over a week ago, my classmates and I traveled to the Dominican Republic on a mission trip. While there were lots of memorable experiences, there were two powerful takeaways from our time. First, we learned that the power of God is in no way limited by a language barrier. And second, we learned that Miss Gunner knows every word to Josh Turner's "Why Don't We Just Dance?" And if you play it in a crowd, she'll enthusiastically sing along. But whether it was laying tile at a church or making crafts with the children at the orphanage, I saw us fulfilling our ultimate purpose as believers, making known the love of Christ through everything we do. So, in closing, I leave you with a reminder from the greatest story of all. In the Bible, from the book of Exodus, there's an exchange between God and Moses. And Moses says to the Lord, "If you are pleased with me, teach me your ways, so I may know you and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people." The Lord replies, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Moses, most likely awestruck and alive with the glory of God, said to him, "If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here." I think that in this moment, Moses found what it takes to be a great leader. He realized he couldn't do it on his own at all. Thank you, Providence, not only for an outstanding education, but for showing us that Jesus must be the center of it all. I can't think of a better place to call home. I can't think of a better place for our stories to begin. And may we always remember to live our lives for the glory of the one who saved us.